Am I audible? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Yes, all right. Advocate Kajal Thakkar. Hello, Amit Kumar. Hello, Prabhu Reddy. Hi, Divine Healers. Hi, Sonika ji. Hi, Abhishek, NK Punjabi, Amit Kumar, Puneet Desai, Sonal ji, Santosh ji, Simanta, Dhawal ji, Sumit Grover, Shweta Deshmukh. Divine Healers, I am Ritika. All right, interesting. Simanta Mohanty was waiting for your update. All right, so I am audible. So that's it. So I got up in the morning and I saw this some horrific bomb blast which has happened in Sri Lanka. That's I don't know. I mean, what's the purpose of targeting holidays like Easter when the entire world and especially the Christian community is on celebration? So I don't understand. I mean, if you have some agenda, I don't know which group has done this, why they have done this, or what agenda do they have. But if you have some agenda, then I don't know if you're seeing this video. If why don't you just come in front? No? Samne aake maro. Fight with the army, fight with the police. But I don't know why this act of cowardice, especially targeting people when they are present in large numbers. Somebody is saying Saturn and Ketu is in close proximity. Mars and Rahu conjunction is waiting. Well, yeah, there are some difficult conjunctions which are yet to happen in the sky, of course. But what I wanted to say was that many times in life, these events can happen in our life. And in fact, one of my friends, she's also in Sri Lanka. Her name is Sugandhini. So I was with her when we were in the engineering days at SRM University. So we were a group of four people, myself and Sugandhini, and there was another girl, Pallavi, from uh, Calcutta, India. And of course, she's not exactly from Calcutta, but she's a Bengali. And there was another friend from Bihar, Divyanshu. So we four of us, we were very good friends at SRM University, and I wanted to know if Sugandhini is fine, so I just messaged Pallavi to check if she's fine. But the problem is the government has blocked all social media access and everything else. But she told me that Sugandhini is fine now, so that's great to know. So that's what I would like to say. And do you understand Bengali? Yes, I understand. I can. Olpo olpo bolte pari. I can speak a bit of Bengali. Anyway, so the main thing which I wanted to talk today was regarding this conjunction of Saturn Ketu, which is happening in Sagittarius. See, and Jupiter also. Jupiter is also in Sagittarius now. So I have seen many times astrologers and people. Actually, I won't call them astrologers. There are many people who have channels in YouTube and who do not actually know the ultimate goal of astrology. They think that the goal of astrology is to show what kind of a sex partner you will get, or what kind of a married partner you will get, or how much money will you earn. That is what many people think about astrology, and that is why many people, they will do their own nonsense, and then they will brand it or they will present it in the name of astrology. And I will not go into specifics here, who is like that, who is like that. Whoever knows astrologers in YouTube will understand about whom I am speaking. So now there is a big notion these days that anything happens in this world, any transit of Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, or Jupiter. Now there are 9 planets. All the 9 of them will be transiting always. Moon transits the fastest, and uh, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu. Saturn is the longest. We all know the slowest. But this has become a tradition I have seen. A kind of holy tradition these days in YouTube, and it's very unfortunate that this is happening. And I do not know why such foolish people are doing all this, but because I have some interest in this domain, so I think it is my moral responsibility to speak on this. So there are many astrologers who, what they do is, any transit which happens, they will say that, oh, religion is going to be wiped out now of this world. Okay, old things are going to break, new things will come, change will come, this will come, that will come. All right. So basically, why people do that? Because they do not know about principles of spirituality and religion. This is why they do that. Because what does spirituality, what does religion tell you? Religion tells you that whichever religion you are, it doesn't matter. You are a Hindu or Muslim or Christian or a Sikh or a Zoroastrian, it doesn't matter. What religion actually tells us that we at our core are spiritual beings. I mean, that idea could be a bit different in some traditions, but the underlying ethos of every religion is that you are something which is beyond this body. You are something which is beyond matter. That's something which is essentially common of for every religion. All right. So every religious tradition helps us to realize that goal by inculcating different spiritual practices into our day, into our life. Okay. So like for example, in Hinduism, we have chanting mantras, reading Srimad Bhagavatam or Gita or the Upanishads, Puranas, the Vedas. So many are there. Then visiting holy places. Then in Christianity, we have they also chant in the rosary beads, and they have this tradition of confession. They go to the church to the Sunday prayers, and then there are days like Easter as it's going on now. Then there is Christmas. And in Islam, as we all know, they fast for so many days, during Ramzan, and then they have Muharram and so many other places when they try to reinstantiate that feeling of being something which is beyond matter. But as the materialistic society is advancing, they are always going to criticize religion. They will always say that all things need to break apart. Well, the sun and moon are millions and billions and trillions of years old. So just because the sun is old, does it mean that it is useless? No. The sun may be 5,000 years old, 10,000 years old, a billion trillion years old, but you cannot survive without the sun. You cannot survive. I cannot survive. Nobody can survive. We will die tomorrow if the sun disappears. So to say that anything happens, Saturn transits to Sagittarius, Ketu transits to Sagittarius, anything happens in this astrological, in the world of astrological transits, you just say that, oh, religion will fall apart, this will happen, new things will come, that will happen. Oh my God, please give me a break. I don't know why they do this, because basically the problem with these people is they just want to be like animals. They have no conception of spirituality. They do not know anything about what the scriptures want us to do, what is the goal of religion and the scriptures. Nobody knows that. And then you have some knowledge of astrology, the zodiac signs, these, that. Like especially I have seen so one of my subscribers, he told me that there are many people who are speaking about this Saturn Ketu conjunction. They are saying that people are saying, astrologers are saying that religion is going to be wiped out of this world during this transit. Well, They have been always saying this. Either Saturn transits to Scorpio, they will say religion will be wiped out. Saturn transits to Libra, they will say religion will be wiped out. And there are people anywhere every year Jupiter transits, they will say the same thing. They will say that, oh yeah, new things will come, this will happen, that will happen. Oh my God, there's so much. So basically, the agenda is to kick out God from their lives and also from the lives of their followers and subscribers. And the problem with this ideology is that you can be happy temporarily without God, but you can be happy with all the money, with all the name and fame and success. But if you do not have spiritual practices in your life, then you'll be miserable at the end. At the end of your life, as Krishna says in the Gita, Anta kale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram, that the desires that you have at the end of your life, that will decide your next birth. So it's not about next birth, it's not about going to hell or going to heaven, or it's not about something which is after this life. It is just about being in this life also. If you see people, some to earn money, I'm not saying it's bad to earn money, but what I'm saying is, why do people, even if they have so much money, they commit suicide? Why is depression increasing so much? Why are suicides increasing? Why are criminal activities increasing? Why is, abuse, violence, all these things, why is it increasing? Because people are feeling more and more empty inside. So what does it mean when you say that somebody is committing violence against somebody? Violence means that the person's conception of happiness has gone down so low that he thinks, I have to pull down somebody to become happy. Because if you cannot pull down somebody, if you cannot go above somebody, then how do you feel superior? The only way is by pulling down somebody, right? So that is what is happening in today's society. If you see, people are pulling down each other, they are fighting in social media, they are fighting. Have you seen debate shows in TV? I used to see before the year 2010, and I still remember, 9 p.m., 8 p.m. in the evening in India, so many news channels, TV channels, they're fighting, quarreling, arguing. Now I've seen, recently somebody sent me a video, that regarding elections in India, what is going on. you know every party is accusing each other. Some political parties saying, oh look, what this ruling party is doing. The ruling party is accusing the opposition. I don't know what is going on. It's a total chaos. So the point, what I'm trying to stress here is that people have so much in life sometimes, and it's great to have. There's no problem in having material things, but if you do not have spiritual realizations inside, if you do not have a connection to God, then you will be miserable at the end. I have seen so many people. My grandfather was an officer in the Indian Administrative Service, very high position. He was at the pinnacle of his, career. And then my father was also there in a very senior bureaucrat position. I have seen politicians, I have seen actors, I have seen writers, I have seen film stars, I have seen so many people. They're those people who are without spiritual knowledge. They're miserable. Their lives are filthy, boring, disgusting, and they're indulging in wine, having affairs, multiple affairs, having sex with multiple people. So, if somebody thinks that when the sign of Sagittarius becomes active by the transit of Saturn or Ketu or Jupiter, if you want to say that religion is going to break apart, then I don't know what you are doing in astrology. I mean, Sagittarius is the original ninth sign. It's the sign of belief. Yes, it's the sign of hope. It's the sign of inspiration, that which inspires us. That is why Jupiter is the natural significator of inspiration. That is why they say if Jupiter is in the ascendant or in the 10th house, somebody can be a teacher, somebody can be a guide, a guru, or a motivational speaker. Why do they say that? Because Jupiter is the lord of the original ninth house. So, how can the ninth house, which deals with the ultimate inspiration for spiritual wisdom in life, which takes you beyond matter. How can that house be a bad house? How can that planet, how can, when planets transit in that sign, how can that bring irreligion? How can that bring, how can that break traditions? Now, of course, there are certain things which we need to upgrade in the religious principles according to time, place, and circumstances, and that is known as desha kala patra. And that's not something new or fancy which I am speaking. It is already there in in our scriptures. The concept of desh kal patra is there, that to what extent can you apply a spiritual principle in your life, that will depend on your circumstances, the country, desh kala, the time, and patra also, the circumstances of who you are, what is your situation. Yes, sometimes a rule can be the same, may not be the same for you and for somebody else. That will depend on what your individual situation is. Okay, so the point is that there are many people you will see. You will see YouTubers, you will see movie stars, you will see politicians. Sometimes you will see big writers. They will downgrade religion, they will downgrade spirituality. you know they will try to convince you that you are all powerful, you do not need god, you do not any spiritual investment that you do in your life is a waste of time. They will try their best to convince you of that. But we need to make sure that we are ourselves on guard, and we do not give into the words of such foolish people who will themselves perish one day in the midst of time, and will also take us maybe with them. All right, so Saturn, Ketu's, Jupiter's conjunction in Sagittarius is the best time for spiritual pursuits. And the day Jupiter had entered Sagittarius, around 26th, I guess, March, that was the day I was in Italy, and I was so happy. So many spiritual people I met, so many of my god brothers who I met in 2010. And as you know, Rahu is in Punarvasu now. So I met one of my senior god brothers. He was from also from SRM University in Chennai. He did MCA there, Master of Computer Applications. Is it that or something else? So I was doing BTech and he was doing MCA that time, and we were extremely good friend those days. He was my senior, of course, but we were extremely close. And suddenly, Rahu is in Punarvasu now. After 9 years, I met him again in the land of Italy, and it was an amazing experience. And in fact, I still remember that he had made this one day we had Nursing Chaturdashi festival in the ashram where we would stay, and Nursing Chaturdashi is on May, around that time. So Nursing Chaturdashi this year is on 17th or 18th May, I guess, May, June, that time. So I still remember in 2011 when he, Abhinav, my senior godbrother. So when he had made this moong dal halwa, I still remember he had made, and I had the great fortune to assist him in making moong dal halwa, and we made it, and we had offered it to Lord Vishnu and the bhoga, and we accepted the prasad. It was amazing. It was wonderful. It was out of the world, and I was just recalling that day, 9 years back, almost. Not, yeah, not 9 years, 8 years back in 2011, when we were, making moong dal halwa, and I still remember stepwise what he was doing when he was boiling the moong dal, the lentils. Dal is lentils. And when he was adding the ghee, when he was adding the sugar, when he was adding the milk, when he was adding the condensed milk, when he was adding the cardamom powder, when he was adding the dry fruits, I vividly remember everything in front of my eyes as I described to you just now. So it was such an amazing experience. And there was another of my one of my senior godbrother. He also, he had messaged me in 2014 that you are coming to Germany. When you come, please meet me. But then, unfortunately, because of my studies and I was very busy doing my masters, and I could not meet him. So I met him finally after 5 years, and then so many of my god brothers, I know them in Hamburg. There's so many of them in Berlin. Some of them are in Munich. They are studying in Technical University of Munich. So I have met these great personalities and people from Italy. They are serving in a temple from last around 20, 30 years. It was the most amazing time. And then I realized that Jupiter is in Sagittarius, of course, with Saturn and Ketu. It's a great time for spirituality. you know so let us harness this time, let us utilize this time to mm, to relish spirituality, to relish spiritual personalities, to relish spiritual books like the Srimad Bhagavatam, like the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, like Ramayana or the Bible or the Quran, because this conjunction will not stay very long. This and anyways, tomorrow I guess Jupiter is moving out of Sagittarius. Okay, he's again going to go into Scorpio back tomorrow morning. Yes, and after that, November, it is again going to stay in Sagittarius. Jupiter will re-enter Sagittarius. Then November, December, January, 3 months, Saturn, Ketu, Jupiter will be conjunct in Sagittarius. So this new year, these 3 months of this new year, the coming new year, of course, let us utilize those 3 months. I'm saying it to you 6 months before only, that these 3 months of your life, maybe you never get it back. Only God knows when Saturn, Ketu, and Jupiter will be conjunct. All three other planets that signify spirituality. And God knows when they will be conjunct again in the sign of Sagittarius or in the sign of Pisces. These are very rare conjunctions to happen. And many of us may be in our 40s or 50s or 60s, and Saturn returns to Sagittarius again after 30 years. And so we may not even live to see that day when Saturn enters Sagittarius again. What to speak of all three planets getting into Sagittarius together. And this year, Christmas, 25th December, is a very special day. There will be around 5 or 6 planets in Sagittarius, I guess. There is a new moon that day. So almost all the planets are in Sagittarius except a few. So you can check the transit chart of December 25th, 2019. You will see it very nicely. And that is what I would say, that instead of wasting time by doing such things, that religion will fall, all things will be kicked out, temples will fall, churches will fall, mosques will fall. Well, if everything falls, then how do you connect to God? I mean, it's great to say that we do not need temples, we do not need churches, we do not need mosques. But then my next question to you would be, how would you connect to God? Well, then nobody has an answer for that question. Now, there are some people who will always give some appealing answers to such questions. They will say that no, no, you should sit and meditate. But if you're meditating, you are following one of the principles of the scriptures. That means you cannot meditate. You cannot chant the name of God because it is mentioned in our scriptures. Well, if that is so bad, then why do you do that? All right. So whatever it is astrologically, whatever it is happening, wherever Saturn is, wherever Jupiter is, wherever Ketu is, we always have to understand that there are many people who will be downgrading religion and spirituality and the timeless traditions in India, of course, and of all the other religions also. And I'm specifically not speaking about Hinduism here. I'm speaking about all the religions here. All right, universally I'm speaking. So there are many people, as you continue during this life, you will see that they will be continuing to do this as astrologers, as pseudo astrologers or fake astrologers, or as spiritual people also, quote unquote. They will try to downgrade religion, or they will say that don't read the Gita. Gita is not useful. It's of no good use. The Bhagavad Gita is useless, it doesn't work. The Bible is useless, the Quran is useless, everything is useless. All right. And what is useful? Only their YouTube channel. That's the best thing that can happen to you, right? You subscribe to their YouTube channel, and then the rest is history. All right. So My appeal to whoever is watching this video from last 25 minutes, thank you very much for your patience. And the only thing I would appeal is that uh, utilize this time spiritually, because the human form of life is very, very, very rare. 8.4 million species of life. After transgressing, you get the human form of life. It's extremely rare. And the human body is given so that you can focus your life on spiritual knowledge. That is the reason spiritual knowledge is it's only possible to gain spiritual wisdom in the human body, because you cannot explain to a cat or a dog or a animal that, oh, there is something called as god, or anything like that. So they will not understand, but humans have the capacity to understand. All right, so there's a lot of nonsense which is there out, and we need to caution ourselves and guard ourselves, and not let some group of people hinder our uh, faith or our spiritual beliefs on god and on the scriptures. Let us not let that happen. All right, so individually we need to take care that we do not get carried away by the statements of people here in YouTube who speak like that, because they will do that for every transit. All right, every transit of Saturn will bring about great changes in society, and big things will happen. But ultimately, always remember, what happens in your life is dependent on your universe, on your individual horoscope. Your dashas are the ones which will define what is going on in your chart. All right, so just because some planets are transiting somewhere, it doesn't mean that that's the cause of events. Okay, so at a generic sense we could say that some things are happening, but you can't still say that it is because of transits. All right, so we need to understand that dashas will ultimately give us the result. All right, so be focused on your chart, your dashas, and do spiritual practices. And that is why I have opened this channel, Exotic Astrology, to spread spiritual knowledge. And I'm very happy that my objective is slowly getting I'm able to achieve that. Many people, they have messaged me always, that by seeing your videos I have left eating meat, I have started reading the Gita, or I have started visiting holy places. I'm very happy to see that. All right, so that is it. Anything else? Shubham Yadav, you are really great astrologer. One day I will meet you, sure. Thank you very much. Terry Boyd, thank you. Very appreciated. Divine Healers. By the way, German is so tough. I tried it once and it was such a blunder. I'm bad at learning a language. Yes, German is difficult. I agree to that. Anybody else? Thank you for the message. Yes. Jennifer Vincent, thank you. I have learned so much from you, becoming more conscious of what to do. Yes. Thank you very much, Jennifer, madam. Abhishek Basu is saying chanting name of God and hearing shloka, God's kathas increases bhakti only through this. Srimad Bhagavatam says yes. Shubham Yadav, tell me your Twitter address. I do not have an account in Twitter. I will open very soon. Ayurveda Vaishya is saying, yes, I have stopped eating meat, going more to holy places, and reading the Gita more and more, practices more too. Thank you very much for the inspiration. Wow, great to know. Ayurveda Vaishya, nice to know. Congratulations. You have stopped eating meat. That's a great achievement in Kali Yuga. I hope you continue this for the rest of your eternity, and you also inspire your friends and family members to do that. Okay. And Damien is saying Vishaka Nakshatra today, divine healers. There are so few guys out like there. Few guys like you out there. Okay, it's tough to deal. Find one seriously. People find spirituality boring. Yeah, people do not find spirituality boring. People find their own lives boring, actually. All right. So whenever you hear somebody saying that spirituality or religion is boring, it means their own life is very boring. Okay, because See, the what's the logic? The logic is that your they will watch TVs and they will watch movies. Why? What's the meaning of watching TVs and watching movies? Watching movie means you are going into some illusory story which appeals very much, right? Because your life is so boring. If you just sit for 5 minutes with a person who's watching TV, just go and sit with him. You will feel that his life is so boring. He has nothing to talk. He has no passion, nothing is there. It's just that he's engrossed in Netflix or Game of Thrones or Big Boss or Crime Patrol in India, or watching cricket, watching football, making other people rich, making just not doing anything. So that is why they find spirituality very boring, because their own lives are boring. All right, that is the reason they feel like this. Mathru Bhutam Srinivasa Sharma is saying, Hi Babajit, good morning. I'm chanting Narayan Kavach daily. Fantastic. Narayan Kavach is there in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and this is given to the demigods, and it is also given, if I remember, by the great Kashyap to his wife also. Okay, Kashyap Rishi gives it to his wife also, one of his wives. Terry Bloyd is saying so many are broken and don't know the most beautiful love of the Almighty, and it is sad, sad for this world. Yes, that's sad in fact. Sonal Ganvir, it's true. I started meditating daily on my own. I don't know why, and yes, past days I'm feeling that connection. Fantastic. Okay, one or two questions more exactly. Luciano Mogi, Islam question mark. Yes, I spoke about every religion universally, unanimously, whichever religion you are, if you are following the path which is given by your acharyas, for example, in case of Islam, if you're following the great prophet Muhammad, then for Christianity you are following Jesus, then you will achieve the perfection of human life. All right, there is no doubt on it. I'm directly stating that there is no ambiguity on that. Whatever is promised, it will happen to you. Saurav Raghunath, how can we use Sundays to sun worship, specifically this month of sun exalting in Aries? Well, you can read the Ramayana. It's a great remedy for sun. That is fantastic. And Ram Navami was also around the corner. And Hanuman Jayanti was also there, because Lord Ram is the avatar for sun. So if you read the Ramcharitmanas and if you read the Valmiki Ramayana, whichever you like, then that is the best thing you can do for any exaltation or any problem of sun. All right, I mean, exaltation, it means if you want to improve the power of sun, you can always do it. Mathrubal Srinivasa Sarma is saying, I'm listening to Srimad Bhagavatam by Velukudi Krishnachari. Well, fantastic. Okay, that is it. All right, Surya is saying, whose win in election in India will be good for the country? Well, it's a very good question to ask, but we cannot analyze this election in a matter of any political party, because we have to understand the fundamental principle that unless the leaders of the society, they they propagate spiritual knowledge, okay, in whichever form, whichever religion it's possible, until that happens, there cannot be everlasting peace in any country. All right, so if you find somebody who is doing that in your community, any leader who is doing that, all right, any political party who is doing that, if you feel that their existence is essential for continuing the spiritual glory of India, well, that is how you should actually vote. That is how I would actually vote. Okay. Vaidehi Mishra is saying Quran is mafia book, Islam spreads hate. Well, no, Islam doesn't spread hate. There are certain group of Muslims who do that, unfortunately, because they do not know about Islam, and especially I have met many friends from Pakistan. I have many friends from Pakistan here, and today also I am going to meet two of my Pakistani friends, and they are also Muslims, and they are very nice people. In fact, they are also open minded about Hinduism. And in fact, when I shared that photo of 25,000 subscribers yesterday, I shared it with one of my Pakistani friends also. So he asked me that, who is this person with four hands, and who is this person, yellow color, who is this person? I have never seen him. And I said, he's our Hindu god. He's Lord Narayan. He's Lord Vishnu. He's the supreme of all the gods which are there in Hinduism. And then he was also happy to hear, and we also discuss, and we have shared a lot of stories on Islam, and lots of amazing stuff. So yes, there are unfortunately a group of people within that community who spreads hate and some other issues are there. But to blacklist an entire religion, that's stupidity. That's in the mode of tamoguna. That's in the mode of darkness, because mode of darkness, tamoguna, means that we go into extremes. Okay, that okay, this thing has happened, that means everybody is like that. So that is not the case. All right. And let us not waste time doing such things. Okay, whoever you are, I don't know, but that is my request, that let us not do that. Okay, thank you very much. It was a great interaction with you. Nice to see you, and thank you very much also for subscribing to my channel. And we reached 25,000 subscribers. There you go. See you again next week. Okay, namaste. Bye bye.